Welcome to Hog Out, and we've got a big show because it's the ICC Champions Trophy tomorrow. India taking on New Zealand. It's going to be an absolute cracker. So let's not muck around because I've got a couple of fans that are coming on to ask some questions. So let's just go quickly through some vital players for tomorrow's game. Up first, who have we got, AK? And I better put my glasses on because it's Rohit Sharma. Now, Rohit Sharma has to deliver tomorrow. He's been up and down with his form all year. Could this be his last hurrah? If it is, we want him to finish on a high note. There is talk about his leadership future moving forward. They want some consistency in the leadership group. And Rohit understands that his form's not up to the standard at the moment that they would like, so he's on thin ice. So hopefully he delivers today. But he's been a great leader, great performer for India, and sometimes age just gets the better of you. So we'll see how he goes tomorrow. The next important player for India will be Virat Kohli. Yes, he's got 100 in the tournament. He did well in the last game, the final against Australia. Should have got 100 there. But he played with a spin of Zampa. Instead of going through that mid-wicket region, he tried to take on mid-on and got caught out in the deep. But he's finding his form, he's finding energy, and just loving those cover drives. So will he be able to handle the spin of both Santner and Bracewell today? The big matchup for him will be Henry, and we'll talk about him later. The next important player for India is Gill. They've got to get off to a good start against New Zealand, especially in that power play, especially with the way that the Dubai wicket is playing. And O'Rourke and Henry have been sensational. They've picked up wickets throughout the tournament with that new ball, and Gill will be on their radar. So he's got to make sure those feet are moving early. No nervous lead feet early for Mr. Gill, but will he captain India moving forward, or is he a little bit too young? That's the other question that's going to be around the corner after this game. And there's a couple of more important players for India. And Shreyas Iyer, look at that. Yes, lifting the collar, cool as a cucumber. But he makes the difference in that middle order for India. And if you look at the stats, he makes more runs than most others in partnerships. So he's very aggressive with his play. And with that aggression, he relieves the pressure out the other end. So he does a fantastic job for India and probably the most important player in this side, just to relieve that pressure from everyone else when you're going into a partnership. The next important player, KL Rahul. Now, Mr. Consistency, we can call him. He averages 40 plus. He's keeping well. He's a man that does many jobs. He's virtually the handyman of the Indian team. If you want something fixed, you call KL Rahul. He can bat anywhere in the order. And if you need someone to keep, he stands up and delivers. And I really love the way that he just finishes the games at the moment. Under pressure again, he's just able to handle it and get India over the line. And he's probably another crucial player tonight. So for me, the two crucial players for India will be KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer. So watch out for those two tonight. We've got one bowler for India tonight who's extremely important. That's Mohammad Shami. He's got to get stuck into Ravindra and Williamson early. He likes to come around the wicket to the left-handers. Can he get that ball to go away from Ravindra, get that outside edge, and then tease him, and then bring one back and take out that middle stump? That's the contest I'll be looking forward to tonight as well, with Shami, Ravindra, and then when Williamson comes in, will Shami still have enough overs up his sleeve and enough sheen on that ball to be able to just bamboozle Williamson with the away swingers and in swingers? Let's watch out for that. Now we've got a couple of New Zealanders that we're going to look at after Ravindra Jadeja. Ravindra Jadeja, I think he's one of the more important players in your team because he's an all-rounder. He can bat well. He's your best fielder that goes around, and he's not a real big wicket taker, but he keeps it nice and tidy with a good economy rate. So with his fielding, batting and economy with the ball, he is hugely valuable in this Indian lineup. Rightio, we won't go through more Indians, will we? Oh, okay, you've just thrown up Varun Chakravarti, and India didn't have him in the original squad for the Champions Trophy. They kicked out Jaswal because Varun was doing so well against England. England had no idea about him, and other teams have got no idea about him. But his magical spin has been bamboozling teams. He's played in New Zealand once, but I think New Zealand will have worked him out and will come in with a different method to play him today. And I'd like to see Mitchell use his height against Chakravarti, try and come down the wicket, put him off his line and length and hit down the ground. And in a partnership with Latham, who likes to sweep, those two are crucial against Varun Chakravarti today. But this guy is another key member of India. So he's probably the key with the ball. And then you've got Shreyas Iyer, the key with the bat for India today, just to break up the game. When we look at New Zealand, we look at Ravindra or Rachin Ravindra. He's playing for Chennai Super Kings. He's Indian origin, playing for New Zealand, but just the flow of the bat. There's a bit of Yuvraj Singh with him through the offside, and then just that elegance through the leg side. He's good on the back foot, good against spin, and he's really coming of age. And it was a big move to remove Conway and have Ravindra opening the batting when Mitchell regained his fitness. So New Zealand went down that way, and Ravindra has repaid them beautifully. And I think he's going to be in form tonight for a big score for New Zealand. The next important player for New Zealand is Kane Williamson, Mr. Consistent, Mr. Reliable. And you talk about Steve Smith retiring the other day. Well, this guy is third best batsman in the last decade in one-day international cricket. He's very reliable. You know what you're going to get, and it's very rare that he makes a silly mistake and gets out. And under pressure situations in big finals like this, he stands up and delivers. So I'm expecting Kane Williamson to get a 50 or 100 in this game, and he could be man of the match. So let's look out that today. All right, the next player that we're going to look at is Glenn Phillips. Now, Glenn Phillips made a beautiful 100 early on in the tournament. And the thing about Phillips is the way that he finishes the innings. Whether it's pace or spin out the back end, he's prepared to take a risk. He's prepared to use his feet, but he hits good areas. He keeps it nice and simple. He doesn't slog. He just tries to hit down the ground and has a beautiful technique for big hitting out the end. And don't forget about his off spin, but his fielding. Some of the catches that he's taken in this tournament have been exceptional. Out point, he took a great catch against Virat Kohli the last game. He just reads the play well. He gets in there close. You can't get that one as a batsman. You feel as though you've got to hit it harder. And when you hit it harder, it creates those catching opportunities out point. So Glenn Phillips, very important in the field and very important to finish the job off for for New Zealand with the bat. Gee whiz. Got to get that right, the team there. A little bit of a boo-boo from Brad. Mitchell Santner, I've just loved the way that he's been captaining the team. He has been absolutely awesome. His decision-making has been crucial. I love the way that when the opposition team have got left-handers early on in the innings, he'll go to Bracewell first. When there's right-handers, he'll go to himself. And he and Bracewell are very versatile with the ball. So when they need that difference, Bracewell can bowl in the depth, Bracewell can bowl early, Santner can bowl early and in the depth as well. So they're a very, very organised bowling attack in the spin department for New Zealand. And remember, in the Test series, Santner really got on top of New Zealand with the ball as well. So he'll be crucial tonight. And look at that, fingers into New Zealand. He could be the bee's knees tonight. Have we got anyone else on there? We've got Matt Henry, surely. Matt Henry, is he going to be fit? He's got to be fully fit for this game. If he's not, then New Zealand are in a little bit of trouble because he's very consistent with the new ball and their best death bowler as well. He's the most experienced campaigner in their fast bowling lineup. It's important that he plays. not just for New Zealand, but for the game as well, because we want the best players possible out in the middle, because we want a close contest. And Henry is vital in the setup of New Zealand. He's very tight with that new ball, keeps the pressure on, sets the game up for the spinners of Santner and Bracewell and even Phillips in those middle overs, where the batsmen feel as though they'll have to go harder out the bowling in those middle overs when the pressure's on. And when it comes to the death overs, he's very good against the big hitters out the back end of Shreyas Iyer and Hardik Pandya and even Jadeja for that matter. So if Matt Henry's fit, it's going to be a huge favour for New Zealand. Right, we've got a couple of guests coming on right now. Let's get them on. We've got Nahal. There we go. Look at him. And we got Austin as well. They were with us during the IPL. How are we going, guys?
Hello, sir. Good morning. Hoggy,
good morning to you both. Rightio. Just before we get into the questions that you've got, what have you thought about the ICC Champions Trophy? Go to Austin first.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, it was a good tournament, sir. Actually, after 1.5 years of the 2023 World Cup, we got to see an ODI tournament. It was a long test season before this. So, yeah, it was a good tournament. Some few games felt a bit slow, but a few games were really interesting, especially the England-Afghanistan game. And even India-Pakistan was good. I mean, there was no contest, but it was really good to watch, especially with Virat scoring 100. And then few games got washed out, which was a pity, because especially Australia versus South Africa was a contest I was looking forward to watch, but it got washed out, and even Pakistan, Bangladesh. So that was not really great, because you want games to be played, especially in a short tournament like this. But overall, it was a good tournament, and I really love ODI cricket, actually, because many people do say that ODIs are dying. And yeah, it obviously, some few games, if there is no contest, it slows down. But it's still a good format, because it's not boring if you love cricket. It involves both T20 and Test cricket skills at some point of time in the game. So that's why I really loved this tournament.
Definitely right. What about yourself, Nahal? Oh, you're on mute, mate. He's on mute. Nahal, you're on mute.
Okay, first of all, it's my honor to be in your show. Thanks for having me here. Yep. Champions Trophy is actually a quick tournament. You know, there are very few matches, unlike the ODI tournament, which is a longer thing. I like this year's Champions Trophy, like so many close encounters. First preference I give for the longer formats. Like my favorite format is Test and then ODIs. So this has been a great tournament, and like Austin said, the washouts was disappointing. Actually, South Africa versus Australia. That's one contest which is really good. Both good teams. That was disappointing. Other than that, the matches have been really great. The close encounters. Afghanistan matches are always interesting. And it's good. India in the final versus New Zealand. It's a great tournament.
It's going to be a great tournament, and we'll talk about something out the back end that I want to have a quick chat about too, just as we leave the show. But before we get into that point, let's get into the questions. Who's going to ask the first question? Actually, I think we'll go with Nahal, because it's his debut on the show. Austin, you've been here before, and Nahal's your friend. So, Nahal, what's your first question?
Yes. So, like you said in the beginning of the show, is tomorrow's championship final is the last of Rohit Sharma? Do you think, or do you see him playing the 2027 World Cup, leading India there?
2027 World Cup, I don't think he'll be there. I think India are going to make a few decisions after this. I think the selectors are going to sit down and discuss the future of Rohit Sharma. Look, if his form was still strong, you would still think about keeping Rohit Sharma as the leader. They're talking about having a consistent leader moving forward, getting that stability. And if Rohit can't find that form, I think you've got to make that change sooner than later. And you've also got Virat Kohli out the present stage, coming of age. How long's he going to continue for? He's a little bit fitter than Rohit Sharma. He's very diligent on his fitness. He's made 100. He should have made 100 against Australia the other night, but he looks as though he's getting that touch back. So I think they'll keep with Virat. but they've got to work out who's going to captain moving forward. Shubman Gill did a good job the other night when Rowett left the field. Is he up to the mark at the moment? He's only young. Or would they go with Hardik Pandya, who's had more experience at IPL level to be able to captain the team in the white ball format? So there's some big decisions to be made. You could even talk about Iyer and Rishabh Pant in that regard as well. So that's a good point. Austin, what's your question?
Yes, sir. So my question to you is that we just spoke about Rohit Sharma right now. I want to ask you a question about Virat Kohli. So,
Yep.
like we all know, you must have also followed Virat Kohli's ODI career since he made his debut, and till now, he has played so many knocks while chasing, almost 24 hundreds while chasing, and he had a very good World Cup, and now he's having a good Champions Trophy. So we have seen many great ODI batters. Like when we think about the best ODI batters, we think about Sachin Tendulkar, AB de Villiers, Viv Richards, and Virat Kohli, of course. So when you think about all these batters and the impact they have had in the game, do you think Virat Kohli is the greatest ODI batter of all time?
Look, it's very difficult to say that because as you go through the years, the game has changed, and the game's changed right now. They're playing it a little bit more aggressively than they used to. But if you go through the stats in run chases, he has got the best record in run chases. He really times it well. Michael Bevan is another player. If you go back to Australia,
Yes.
Michael Bevan with his run chases, he was critical for Australia. So if you're going to go through decades, through periods of time, and you're looking at the best batsman, I'd even put Michael Bevan up there with Virat Kohli. But Virat Kohli's been consistent in different forms of the game. He bats higher than what Michael Bevan did. So if I'm looking at it, Virat Kohli, definitely the best number 3-4 batsman that you've seen in one-day international cricket. Michael Bevan, probably the best batsman as a finisher when you look at consistency. So, yes, Virat Kohli is definitely the best one-day international batsman that I've seen. In this decade, Steve Smith second, Kane Williamson third. Adam Gilchrist would be in there as well. He was a game changer. He changed the game of cricket as well. Being an all-rounder, a keeper who can bat as well. So he's a frontline batsman who was an exceptional keeper, and he really changed the game and set it up for the likes of Rishabh Pant coming through. Yep. So Virat Kohli, definitely the best batsman in one-day international cricket. Better than Sachin Tendulkar. Yep.
Yes, sir. So following up to Nihal's question, I just wanted to ask you a quick one. You said that Rohit Sharma's form is not that great, so that's why it will be tough for him to play the 2027 World Cup. So what I want to ask you is, in India, we fans and many experts, we believe that Rohit's starts, which he gives like 40 of 30 balls or 30 of 20 balls in ODI cricket, that is helping the team get to good starts in the power play, which sets it up for batters like Virat and Shreyas Iyer and others to come later on. So, do you actually think that if that role is given to Rohit Sharma, we should kind of accept that Rohit is getting out early, and we should not be concerned about his form if he gets out early? Or do you think that his talent is getting wasted by giving those quick starts?
Yeah, I think, it's good that he gets India off to a good start, but then you've got someone sitting in the wings like Jaswell. So Jaswell and Gill, who are very youthful and very aggressive, could be a little bit more consistent than what role it is. And when you've got someone like Jaswell sitting in the wings and performing the way that he's doing, you don't want to waste that talent. If there's an opportunity to bring him in, you bring him in. Otherwise, you lose that youthfulness, and you lose that aggression, and you lose the ability to set him up for a long career. So I think the Indian selectors really have to have a good look at it. And I remember Australia when they brought Adam Gilchrist in. They had Ian Healy coming to the end of his career. He had one more test match, and that test match was going to be played in Brisbane in front of his home crowd. They said, no, we've had enough of you. We need to move on. Adam Gilchrist is performing exceptionally well now. We've got to get him in the team earlier than later. We've got to give him a little bit more experience before we go to the next series. And we're going to have to make that crucial decision of moving Ian Healy on, who was brilliant at that stage. So, sometimes you've got to make those tough decisions for the future of your team. So it's going to be a tough call for the Indian selectors. Yes. Nahal, have you got a question there?
Yes. Yeah, adding on to it, I want to ask you, what are the factors that a player should what are the factors that players should consider while preparing for a match, like on-field or the off-field challenges in his late 30s? Since you have played cricket till 45, 46, I want to ask you that what are the challenges they face?
Look, you've got to really look after yourself. It's like anything in life. If you want to do something, you want to achieve something. When you're going through your day and you're finishing off that day, you're going, right, what do I have to do to set myself up to get my next day started well so that I can achieve those goals? So for Virat Kohli, myself that want to play for as long as you possibly can, it's about looking after your body, not having those late nights, making sure you get some good sleep, but also making sure that you're doing the right exercises to keep your body fit. And then also doing mental exercises as well. So visualization, a lot of visualization and a lot of good self-talk as well, where you've got a lot of belief in yourself. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you do. You're never too old. You're never too young to achieve anything. And you've just got to keep believing that you're going to be good enough to do it. So it's just making sure that the decisions you make today are getting you ready for what you want to achieve tomorrow. And sometimes the only thing with older players is that they still can sometimes overtrain. So make sure you prepare a little bit earlier for a tournament so that you don't have to catch up 1 or 2 days just before the game. So when you get there 1 or 2 days before the game, you can actually just cut back on your training program, relax, rest the body, refresh it so that you're ready to take on the game. And I think that's what Virat Kohli's starting to learn now. I think he's getting his routine right. And we're seeing him start to have that success again in the last couple of games that he's played. That is a very good question, Nahal. I loved it. I love that question. Austin, what's your next question, please?
Yeah. No, I want to continue with Nihal's question. And, he told you that you played till the age of 44 or 45, right?
I
You
think
are
it
the
was
oldest
47.
player ever. Yeah, actually, yeah. So you're the oldest player to play the IPL. It's still a record. But a certain MS Dhoni is actually threatening that record because he's going to turn 44 this year. And we don't know until when he's going to play. So do you actually think MS Dhoni will break your record to play to be the oldest player to ever play in the IPL?
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, does he have any other records?
He obviously does have some records, but yeah.
Yeah.
He probably
I
would love to have this one, but
yeah.
probably it's a record which you cherish to have. So you will hope that he retires this year, maybe.
Yeah, well, as long as he sends me a birthday card after he breaks it, I'll be happy. But look, he's a wonderful player. I don't think that will be his main record that he wants to break. If he still enjoyed it, and you've got to have the passion for it, and he's still got the passion for it, and he loves it down there at Chennai. And he'll take it year by year. Everyone says this could be his last year. If he gets through the year and he feels as though he can go again, he'll go again. So I think he'd probably end up breaking my record. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully he's still a little. Hopefully he's still athletic behind the stumps. I think last year there were a couple of dives to his right where he was probably just a centimetre off from his best. Hopefully that hasn't gone to a couple of inches now. Yeah. But hopefully he finishes off well as well for Chennai and they have a bit of success this year. Yeah, good question, that. Nahal?
Okay. Since now England had a pretty bad tournament and a bad series versus India. So recently, Rob Key, the managing director of English cricket, told they are not ruling out the option of appointing Ben Stokes as the captain in ODIs. So, do you think England should go back to Ben Stokes, or they should go for youngsters like Brooke, Salt, or as a captain,
Oh,
as the
look,
next ODI captain?
yeah, look, I think there's so much talk about Ben Stokes. It's a funny one. It's a good one with England, but look, they've sort of decided that they're going to go with youth. They're picking players in their test team that haven't played too much first class cricket. They're picking them on one day form, T20 form. And those domestic players that are putting on a mountain of runs, picking up wickets, aren't getting opportunities. So they've gone down a different path how they choose their test team. They're going down a different path how they choose their one-day team. It's on talent rather than on performances. And they're trying to play this exciting brand of cricket. It's great to play that exciting brand of cricket, but you've got to be adaptable as well. It doesn't matter what leader you have. If you're just going out there and thinking, right, well, this is the brand that we play, when it's tough, we still wanted to play that aggressive game rather than sit there and go, right, this is a tough moment. We've got to get through the next couple of overs, figure out what the pitch is doing, and when we figure out what the pitch is doing, then take the game on. I think you look at that series against India. They didn't change their plans with the ball. With the bat, they didn't really change their plans with their bat. Harry Brook was struggling against a spin, and he wasn't prepared to sit there in the early games and go, right, I'm going to take another 20 balls to get used to these conditions. And when I get those 20 balls and I get a little bit more settled and I've got a good foundation, then I might be able to play that aggressive brand of cricket. And I've heard a number of players say when they start a new tournament in foreign territory, they take 10 extra balls in a T20 match to get used to the conditions, get used to the tournament, and then after that, then they've got to express themselves, because then they've set that foundation up. Because if you play an aggressive shot straight away, get out for a duck, you're already under pressure for the next game. You haven't got used to those foreign conditions. I don't think it's a leadership issue for England. I think it's the approach. Yes, you want to have that exciting brand of cricket, but you've also got to be able to get through those tough situations and handle that with a little bit of defence. Yeah, good question there, Nahal. But I think England are in trouble, and they're going to be in trouble when they get down to Australia in that Ashes series next year. Nahal, you're going to go again? You got your hand up?
Yeah. Who do you think will be the next captain? One name I'm expecting.
For England, if I was, that's a difficult one, because I don't think there's anyone other than Butler to captain the team. You go back to Ben Stokes, I think it's too much pressure on him to play all formats of the game. And yeah, for me, I think it's more about. If I was looking at that team, it would probably be the little nugget Ben Duckett at the present moment. Yeah. If I look out character, if you're not going to go back to root, it'll probably be Ben Duckett. I just think he's got the composure, and I just like the way that he goes about his business, and he's a very versatile player as well. So I'd go Ben Duckett. Good question. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Rightio, Austin, what's your question?
Yeah, Duckett probably has to take care of the statements he makes.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something. But yeah, that's fine. So, sir, from England, we'll go to Australia. So now we have seen Steve Smith retiring from ODI cricket, which was a shocker because he's one of my favorite players, and I genuinely felt he had a lot of ODI cricket left in him, at least till the 2027 World Cup. So now that's his decision. Probably wants to focus on tests and T20 leagues, but now with Steve Smith gone, and it's like an end of an era for Australia now with Finch, Warner, and Smith, the original top three, which traumatized many bowling attacks in the last decade, all of them gone. So now Australia are transitioning into a new era in ODI cricket. So, what do you think? What is the way for them shaping for the 2027 World Cup? And who are the players do you think will be key for the side to become become the Australian team to fight and probably defend their title in 2027? Like, if you had to prepare just a random 11 sitting here today in 2025, who are the players do you think will make it to 2027?
I think you would get Connolly coming in at number 4, Connolly coming in and replacing Smith, but you would have him batting down the order, and you would bring Inglis up to where Steve Smith is. And with the opening position, Matt Short seems to be the pick of the bunch at the moment. But with Travis Head there, I would like to go with Sam Constas. I think he's got a little bit about him that they could spend a bit more time with him in the white ball format. He's aggressive. He's got all the shots. He plays slightly different to Travis Head. So if you've got Travis Head, Constas out the top, taking on the bowling in the power play. Inglis coming in at number 3. Then you've got Connolly 4. Kerry in that middle order with Green. I think that would be a settled top 6. And then you've got Glenn Maxwell. And then you've got your bowlers. I'm not too sure with the bowlers. If we're going to play 2 spinners, I don't want 2 leg spinners in the team. I'd be trying to find another off spinner somewhere along the line, but that off spinner's got to be able to bat as well, handle the bat. So whether it's a Matt Short batting down the order or not, you can't have 2 leg spinners in the same team for me. So that's how I'd go with the Australian batting lineup. Yeah, that's a good question, that one.
Green is injured right now, so he might come back to the ODI setup.
Yeah. So that's why I've mentioned Green in there. Yeah. But I think you can play both Inglis and Kerry in the same team. I think Kerry's outstanding. Yep, and Inglis, they both handle those tough situations well. Yeah. So what about you, Nahal? What's your next question?
Austin,
go Austin. You are looking past Manas Labuschagne in ODI cricket.
Oh, definitely. Yep. I think you've got to move on to youth. I think Marnus is a top Test cricketer, but in the white ball format, I just don't think he's got the range of shots that you need now to take on the game. I think the players that I've mentioned are those type of players that can play with aggression from ball 1, but if the moments are tough, they can get through those tough periods. I've seen it with all those youngsters except for Constas. Constas is probably the left field selection there, but he's one that you'd give a licence to. Just play that aggression all the time. The rest, they've got to be adaptable to the different moments of the game. And then you've got Glenn Maxwell at the back end as well. So you've got Constas, Maxwell, our 2 spectrums to have a licence. The other players really handle those different moments that a game offers. So for me, I'm seeing Australia pretty strong moving forward. I'm not too worried about them with their depth.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Who's up? Nahal.
Yes, Sachin and Rohit Sharma both averaged around 30 in their first 60 ODI innings. So even Rishabh Pant averages around 34 now. Do you think Rishabh opening spot is the best for Rishabh Pant in the white ball cricket? Should India try that?
Rishabh Pant, no. I'd like to see him down the lower order. And the reason why he's got an average of where it is because he plays that aggressive game. Generally, he's finishing off the innings. And when India are in the Nua, or in trouble, should I say, when I say in the Nua, that means manure. But when India are in trouble, he seems to make those big scores down the lower order. When they're not, he seems to go after bowling, try to get quick runs, and those quick runs come in quick time, and that probably lowers his average as well. So for me, he's very good against spin in those middle overs. He's very aggressive there, and he's a very good finisher as well with the range of shots. So for me, I'd rather see him down the lower order rather than opening the batting. I think he's a total waste out the top of the order when you've got Jaswell and Gill there. So use him with his strength down that lower order. But I like the way you're thinking, Nahal.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, sir,
What about you, Austin? Yep.
Yeah, so both of us have decided that we will play a game like with you. That is the Brad Hogg quiz. Okay,
Rightio.
we'll be asking you questions one by one about yourself
Yep.
itself, like ODI cricket, and whatever
Yep.
you have achieved normally. So we will just ask you that how much you remember about your career in ODIs and white ball cricket, and we'll see just how it'll go. So
All right,
yeah,
let's go.
so okay, starting with Nihal.
Yeah. Against which team did you make your ODI debut against, and which ground?
It was Zimbabwe in Colombo, I think.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect, sir.
Yeah.
1-on-1. So okay,
Any
against
memories
which
of that?
team? Yeah, any memories of your ODI debut? Something which you would like to share?
Yeah, I can't remember who I got out.
It's okay, sir. It's a Zimbabwe batter named Ali Shah, I guess. Yeah, Ali Shah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
irrelevant.
that's
So
right.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
it was
Ali.
Ali Shah.
Yep. No, that was many moons ago. I had many other things on my thoughts at that stage. So yeah. What's the next one?
So against which team did you take your best ODI figures of 5 for 32 and which ground?
I reckon that was Candy against Sri Lanka, wasn't it?
Actually, that's wrong. That was your another fifer. It was 5 for 41 against Sri Lanka. But
Yep.
this was your best ODI figures of 5 for 32 against West Indies at MCG in 2005.
Rightio. See, I don't know too much about my career.
It's okay, sir. No problem.
Yep.
No problem. So yeah.
So, sir, you have played under the 5 captains in ODI cricket. Can you name them all?
In ODI cricket or Test cricket?
ODI cricket. Only ODI cricket.
ODI cricket. You have played
Ricky
under 5
Ponting.
captains.
Ricky Ponting, Mark Taylor, Ian Healy.
Yes.
Yes.
I think Mike Hussey.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
One more.
Yeah. One more.
Or Adam Gilchrist might have captain again. Yes.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes, sir. All of them will be proud of this.
You had me thinking there. Yep, you had me thinking. Yep.
Yeah. You took the most wickets under Ricky Ponting, 139.
Yeah, because I only probably played 4 games with the others.
Yeah.
Gilly only captained probably 1 game that I played. Yeah. So.
Yeah, stepping in.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Gee whiz, this is tough.
Okay, out of
this.
Yeah. Yes, sir. It's a big illustrious career after all. So, out of your 156 ODI wickets, how many wickets do you think you've taken in wins?
How many I took in what? Sorry?
In wins, in winning games. In wins.
In winning games. Out of 100 and what? 56 wickets?
156 ODI wickets, yeah. How many of them in wins?
I reckon I would have taken 156 wickets in all the winning games, because when I didn't perform, we lost. No, all right, let's be serious. I reckon about 122.
Close, sir. But you set yourself low there because it's 139, which is 89% of your wickets have come in wins, which is really great, sir.
Oh, that's good.
When I saw that was actually mind-blowing, man.
Yeah, because that's the impact you had.
Thank you very much for that. That's interesting, that. Yeah. No, thanks very much for that. Yeah, that's a good stat, that one.
Yes,
What's the next question? I'm learning a bit about my career here.
In which ground do you have the most wickets?
Oh. I'm going to have to say the MCG or the SCG.
SCG is close.
This-
Yeah, one is SCG.
SCG is close. You have one more.
Is this in one-day international cricket?
Yes, ODI cricket.
Yeah,
ODI cricket? Most wickets. It couldn't be Adelaide, and it couldn't be Brisbane, and it's
is
got to be
Adelaide.
Perth. It's Adelaide.
It is Adelaide Oval. 12 wickets in 8
He took
innings.
12 wickets in 8 games, and in SCG 12 wickets in 11 innings.
Oh, rightio. Adelaide. All
Yeah.
right.
Adelaide.
I got asked to go to Adelaide when I was a youngster by Terry Jenner. Probably should have gone there.
No, sir. You have stamped your authority in almost all the grounds in Australia.
No, thanks very much for that. What's the next question?
So you have taken this is not ODIs, but this is T20 international. Just one question on that. You have taken 2 T20 international wickets against India. Okay, can you name the 2 batters you dismissed?
Is Virat Kohli one of them?
Yes.
Yes.
Just for the viewers to know that you have dismissed Virat Kohli.
Yep. He can't play left arm leg spin, can he? Who is the other one? Rohit Sharma?
No,
No.
sir. Another hard Indian
Another
opening
Indian
batter.
opener.
Yeah.
Oh, not Sehwag.
Yes.
That was
you're
Court
Yes.
Marsh.
Yes.
That was Court Marsh out cover. Sean Marsh out cover. And that was
Wow.
probably one of the best catches I have ever seen. It went straight to him,
Oh,
and if he didn't catch it, he would have been in hospital. It was one of the hardest hit balls I have ever seen. Yeah. So
wow.
I bamboozled him with the
I was-
change of pace.
But yeah, sir. No, really good 2 batters to have dismissed.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember
one more.
Virat Kohli. Yep, go for it.
Yeah. No,
No,
you
go for
continue.
it,
Sir.
continue.
Have you got one more question?
No,
You
you
got
were telling
question.
that you remember Virat.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't hear you, sorry.
No, you were telling that you remember Virat Kohli. You were telling something.
No, I can't remember getting Virat Kohli out, but I am going to remind him next time I see him.
Yes, sir. Sure.
He's down there
Sure.
with. I keep all my wickets in my pocket here, and there's Brian Lara, Ricky Ponting's in there, Sachin, and
Yes.
Virat's in there as well. So no,
You
that's
got all the
awesome.
great men out.
Yeah.
No, thanks very much, guys.
The grades out.
Yes, sir. So,
Yeah.
Nihal.
Yes. Which batter was your final ODI wicket?
Which batter was my final ODI wicket? I have got no idea. Who were we playing? We're playing India, were we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You're playing India.
Was it Yuvraj?
Yes, you're
Yes,
right.
sir.
Yuvraj in
Yes,
Sydney.
you're right.
March 2008.
Yes.
Yep,
You have got
rightio.
Yuvraj Singh out 4 times in ODI cricket. 4 times.
Right. Yes.
He's surely in your
I-
pocket.
He got me out a couple of times. He got me a couple of times as well. Yes. Is there one
so,
more
okay.
question?
Yeah, just last 3 more. Then we'll
Yep.
be done.
Yep.
Which batter did you dismiss the most times in ODI cricket? Like, which batter was your bunny in ODI cricket?
I'm going Ganguly or Brian Lara.
No. It was
Sri Lankan.
Mahela Jayawardene 6 times.
Oh, yes. I forgot about Mahela. Yes, Mahela. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah.
Jay Wardner. Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah, so too much talking about your bowling stat. Now, your highest score in ODIs is 71 not out. Against which team?
Oh, that was England. I remember that because the English boys were sledging me, and I was enjoying it more and more and more. And the other
Wow.
reason why I remember that, the other reason why I remember that is because I just got a new bat, in my collection, and I was laying down in the change rooms, and I was trying to just do a bit of visualization, and I slightly fell asleep, and the room attendant woke me up and said, "You better put the pads on."
Oh, okay.
So,
That's nice.
yeah,
That's nice behind the scenes story to know. Wow.
yeah,
By the way,
yeah.
Australia won that game by 5 runs, so it was an
5
impactful
runs.
innings.
It was a
I
VP
remember
series
Brett
was
Lee bowling. Yeah, I remember Brett Lee bowling the last over, and he goes, "I love these moments. I really love these moments where the game's on the line and you've got the ball in
Yes.
hand." He wanted that ball in hand. Yeah, yeah. So
Wow. Yes,
no, it
sir.
was exciting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the final question of this Brad Hogg quiz. So you have taken 1 wicket in Champions Trophy, and you have taken 1 wicket in Champions Trophy. Can you name the batter you dismissed, and in which game was it?
Was that the final against the West Indies out Brabourne Stadium?
Yes. Yes. You're right. Do you remember the batter you
Was it?
dismissed?
I remember the batter tried to go across and sweep me behind square. I think it was Bravo, wasn't it?
Yes. Dwayne
yes,
Bravo.
it
Yes,
was DJ Bravo.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Just for your
surprised that was a guess.
information. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that was a guess.
Exactly.
Thanks
Yeah.
very much for that quiz, guys. Christ, I did, yeah, no, that was exciting. That was
Yeah.
interesting.
Actually,
Thank you very much for
Dwayne Bravo. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank
But
you,
yeah,
sir.
actually, Dwayne Bravo coming into that final had scored 112 not out in the semi-final. So
Or the,
it was a prized wicket which you took, and yeah. So just carrying on with that last thing. What are your memories of the 2006 Champions Trophy final, and what did that tournament mean to you? Winning that tournament.
I think I can't remember too much about it because we were always preparing for World Cups. But I do remember that we did go there to try and win the Champions Trophy. It's something that we hadn't won before, so we just wanted to make sure that we give ourselves the best chance to get that particular honour of winning an ICC Champions Trophy. So the preparation was there for that. We probably had the best one-day international team going around in world cricket at that stage. So we wanted to make the most of that playing group as well. So we didn't want to leave it by chance. But other than that, I don't remember too much of it. I remember that the night before that game, a player and I went out to Sachin Tendulkar's restaurant and had dinner that night. So we had a good feed. And it was awesome there in Mumbai. And I remember that's probably one of the last games that we played out Brabourne Stadium. It was a great stadium to play at, a good wicket, and we just had so much fun out there. But I can't remember too much of that final. I'm going to have to look at the scorecard. But the World Cups were the most important ones for us. And talking about ICC finals tonight, who's going to win, India or New Zealand?
India,
Yeah.
sir.
India.
Yeah.
Do you
more.
think, actually, just before we go, do you think India have got too bigger advantage because they've played all their games in Dubai?
Personally,
I-
yeah. Okay, let me have.
Yeah, I don't
Go
think
ahead.
it's been an advantage because even previously, before this hybrid model, it was decided that PCB offered India to play all their matches in Lahore and then
Yeah.
move back to Amritsar if there is any security reasons. So even if India had gone to Pakistan, all their matches would be in Lahore. So I don't think
Yep.
it would be much an issue. So advantage, yeah, they might know the conditions. They would be similar. The condition they will be more aware of than the other traveling teams.
Yep.
But then, yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Rightio.
So
That's it.
personally,
Yeah, go
if
on.
you ask me, you can't say it as an advantage, like in terms of like only traveling is an advantage, you can say, because what do you say, they don't have to travel much compared to other teams. But other than
Yeah.
that, the pitch, because see, India have been playing on 5 different strips in the Dubai stadium.
Yeah.
So even when they played in the semi-final, this pitch which they played was new to them. So they're not
Yep.
played in that pitch. So now the final is going to be played in the India versus Pakistan game pitch. So you can say that okay, they have that advantage of knowing the pitch better. But having said that, even New Zealand have played one game in Dubai, so it's not that big of an advantage. Only the traveling bit is a little bit of a advantage, but otherwise, I don't think it's a major advantage that can define this tournament as such.
Yep. Well, totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Yeah, thanks very much for joining us, guys. Austin and
Thank you,
Nahal,
sir.
that was sensational. If anyone out there wants to join me on this YouTube channel, you just fill in the Google form, which is sensational. And just before you two guys go, I think I said it a couple of weeks ago that New Zealand were a team that were going to have a little victory against India in Dubai. And I said it was going to be in the regular rounds, but they didn't win then. And I think if anyone's going to upset India in this final, it's going to be New Zealand. I think it's going to go down to the last over. And I think the team in black might beat the team in blue. So, yep. So we've got 2 for India and 1 for New Zealand. I have to go against you tonight, guys. But hopefully it's a close game.
That's fine. That's the fun.
Yep, that's the fun.
Where's the Trans-Tasman
Anyway, guys,
rivalry?
Tasman rivalry, definitely. Yep.
So can I,
Thank you very much, guys. Yep.
Yeah,
Go
can
for
I
it.
just get a minute?
Yep.
Yes, I just wanted to share a best memory of whenever I hear of Brad Hogg, I remember Brad Hogg in KKR, the match you played against CSK in Eden Gardens where you got 4 for 29. Oh my God, the start, McCullum and Faf was firing from the end. Then comes the great Brad Hogg, dismissed both the batters. Then at the end, Jadeja was playing slow and initially he picks up the pace. And Pawan Negi from the other end. Both were actually getting to the solid finish for CSK. Then again, the great Brad Hogg comes at the 18th over and get both of them out. And the celebration where you squat, do this and this. I can never forget that. I was going to tell you from the beginning, that was just amazing memory of you for me.
Totally, sir. Yes.
No, thank you very much for those memories. Thanks so much for the questions, guys. I remember that game well, and it was good to get McCullum out because of the Tasman rivalry. But it's also good to get another spinner or two out as well. But thanks very much for joining us, guys. Very special to have you on, and we'll get you back on during the IPL as well. Hogg, Hoggy's going to go now. New Zealand to win for me, India to win for you two. Let's hope it's a great game, and see you guys later. It's Hogg out.